Yes, welcome everyone. Cannabis news with Joe Klare. It's September 21st, 2018, presented as always by the Marijuana Times. You find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click that video tab to find this show. Talking about a lot today, including the Rocky Mountain High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Report. The fifth one, volume 5 of the impact of marijuana legalization in Colorado. It's very menacing stuff. Talk about that. Also talk about giant marijuana bundles washing up in Florida, and some details of New Jersey's new attempt at legalizing marijuana. They've been attempting it all year. They're going to attempt it some more, and maybe this time the attempts will be successful. And then there's a full disclosure. It's kind of warm in here. The air conditioner, while not completely on the fritz, is semi on the fritz. It's semi-fritzed. So I am semi-warm. I'm very prissy. I need the temperature to be perfect in here. I want bottles of water and the right fruit in my green room, and I need to be the perfect temperature in here to do this show. So people don't understand the stress I'm working under. It's horrible. Anyway, we're going to get to all of that, and I might complain some more about the heat. I don't know. See where my mood takes me. Before we get to all that, first of all, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. If you live in a state where it's legal to cultivate cannabis, don't use harmful chemicals, make sure you grow safe and poison-free, and make sure you are regulatory compliant and not using banned pesticides in the state you're growing in. You're going to accomplish all of this at nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. This first story by yours truly over at marijuanatimes.org. Has marijuana legalization been a bad thing for Colorado? Well, I just mentioned that Rocky Mountain High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Program Report. It's a very, very long name, so you know that it's important. Now, previous issues of this report in various other states have not exactly been kind to marijuana legalization. They're biased against marijuana legalization. Everybody knows that. And this report was no different. I went through some of the findings. There's a bunch of findings, but I went through the first couple sections. The first one section was traffic fatalities and impaired driving. This is from the report, quote, since recreational marijuana was legalized, marijuana-related traffic deaths increased 151%, while all Colorado traffic deaths increased 35%. So what they want you to believe is that the traffic deaths involving marijuana are skyrocketing because of legalization compared to the actual increase overall in Colorado. And they want you to think that all of these people, they go to the next one, they go in the actual hard numbers. Since recreational marijuana was legalized, traffic deaths involving drivers who tested positive for marijuana more than doubled from 55 in 2013 to 138 people killed in 2017. Now, a couple things about this. This is involving drivers who tested positive for marijuana. This is not drivers who are impaired on marijuana. They want you to think that 138 people were killed in 2017 because of marijuana legalization. That's simply not true. There's no way to know how many of those people were involved in crashes with people who were actually involved or actually impaired by marijuana. Now, maybe someone had smoked a joint on Saturday night. They hit someone and killed them on Monday because they were texting. Is that a marijuana-related traffic accident? Of course not. That's the problem with measuring THCs in people's bloodstreams. You can stay there for weeks, up to 30 days or more for some people. I've heard stories of more than 30 days. But at the very least, is that the example I always use, let's say you smoked a bunch. You smoked a ton, man. You got blazed up on Saturday night. Didn't smoke any on Sunday. Went to work Monday morning, hit somebody. You tested positive for marijuana. Were you impaired on marijuana? Of course not. Not even close. Then they go on to talk about other percentages, and they try to skew the numbers to look like what they want them to look like. Section 2 is about marijuana use. Colorado past month marijuana use shows a 45% increase, comparing 3-year average prior to recreational marijuana being legalized to the 3 years after legalization. Yes, more adults are using marijuana. They're using more marijuana than they were before. Yes, because of legalization. But if you look, and I link in the story, at studies on teen use and youth use in Colorado, that's either staying stagnant or going down. In many cases, it's going down. But they want you to believe that, hey, a bunch of kids are using marijuana and use is skyrocketing and this is horrible. And all these people are getting stoned and they're getting on the roads and they're crashing into people and they're killing them. And this is all because of legalization, because these things didn't happen before legalization. It's all a crock involving cherry-picked numbers that are easily dismantled, as I just showed you, and I show you in the article, which is of course linked, as all stories are, that I talk about in the show in the description of this video. This next story from the Washington Post. This is a great title. Giant marijuana bundles wash up on Florida beaches, but don't try to keep them. Sheriff promises visit to the Green Roof Inn if you're caught with a block of weed. The Green Roof Inn. I don't know. Is that clever? I don't think it is. I don't think it rises to the level of clever. In any case, apparently there's been a lot more than usual when it comes. It's been a lot more than usual when it comes to marijuana washing up on the shore in Florida. Most people turn it over. Some people have, attacked the packages and ripped a little, like an ounce out or whatever and took off running, or a pound or whatever. Again, these stories are linked in the description of the video. Apparently, they recovered about 100 pounds. Flagler, Florida officials recovered about 100 pounds over 2 days. That doesn't include the packages that were removed from the bundles by the beachgoers who then fled, to include a woman in a yellow bikini who was photographed snagging at least one package from the Jungle Hut bundle. I guess that was the name of a beach. The Flagler sheriff distributed a photo of her in an apparent act of pot theft, but she remains at large. Danger to her community. Running around willy-nilly with a bundle of marijuana. In St. Johns County, Florida, north of Flagler, the weed packages started floating to the surface the prior weekend when an off-duty sheriff's deputy fished an oblong, heavily taped package out of the water. Basically, they said they have no idea where this might have came from. It might have been, someone running from the Coast Guard and dumped it overboard. A plane that made a bad drop. A boat that had a bunch of weed on it that got, hit by a storm and sunk. There's all kinds of reasons that could be that could have caused this. But the result is a bunch of weed is, at least for the last several weeks, or for a several week period, was a lot more than usual was washing up on the shores of Florida. But you'll go to the Green Roof Inn if you get caught with any of it. You don't want that. The Green Roof Inn, actually, that sounds pretty nice. It sounds like a nice little cozy cottage. But I think he meant jail. The green was just a reference to the marijuana. This last story is from NJ.com. Some quick details on the New Jersey's new legal weed bill, including delivery and smoking lounges. Apparently, NJ Advanced Media obtained a copy of the plan this week. It calls for what could be the lowest marijuana taxes in the nation, weed delivery, and places for users to smoke outside of their homes, among other provisions. Now, apparently, Governor Murphy was not happy with the lower taxes. I guess he wants more taxes. Of course, Governor Murphy was elected on a platform that included marijuana legalization. He's been pushing for marijuana legalization since he took office earlier this year. Basically, the bill would legalize the possession and personal use of small amounts of marijuana for people at least 21 years old. It would also create, regulate, and tax the commercial marijuana industry in the state. It would have the lowest pot tax in the country. There would be legal places to smoke. Businesses with a marijuana retail license would be able to apply to have a consumption space on the same premises as, but separated from, their dispensary. So that is interesting. Also, weed delivery would be allowed as well. Murphy has indicated that he supports the delivery aspect of the bill. Not all states allow marijuana to be delivered, but California, Nevada, and Oregon do. Businesses with a marijuana retail license will be able to get permission from the state to deliver cannabis products to consumers. So that's what's going on in New Jersey. That's what's going on around the country. That's what's going on in cannabis news. Thanks, everybody. Another week gone by. Your weekend may now begin. Have a safe one. Keep spreading the truth about cannabis, liking, sharing, commenting on these videos. Check out marijuanatimes.org, of course, for everything you need to know about the cannabis industry, community, and beyond. Thank you to NatureSide, nature-side.com, for being a proud sponsor of the show. Thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.